who wants it?
Well, Halem's on speaking terms with Xena, so I'll let Halem do it.
All right. Well, last time while you were, getting your shower on, which, good for you. Thanks for
Uh-huh.
letting us deal with all the fun.
Oh,
Uh
you're welcome.
yeah, Huts came with some enforcers. I almost got shot. We set a door on fire. I used the force to throw a lightsaber to cut a heavy blaster off. Jano one-shotted a Hut. He miraculously survived.
I broke
Did
into the
some
ship without breaking anything, so then I
he
didn't have to fix anything for us to
he
fly.
did. I'm very proud of him for that. Vesper did something I assume it was useful, and yeah, that's about. And you found the password.
Yeah, I did.
Now you're
That's
caught
right.
up.
Vesper comes out of the shower and says, and he is no longer the dirty Jedi, but he is the clothed Jedi. That is an important thing to note.
And with that, our mismatched crew, held together by the need to mutually figure out who's trying to kill you before you can safely part ways, have stolen a Hut yacht and are safely away for now in hyperspace, with evidently Vesper having finally come out of the shower because he thinks that's what they meant by dirty Jedi. With all of you left in a odd position with no allies to speak of and kind of needing to figure out a next move to keep yourselves alive.
Vesper comes out and says, okay, well, I don't know about all of you, but I think that we should probably investigate that Dark Jedi that we ran into before they end up coming after us. Or did y'all have something else that you were trying to do before all this happened?
I mean, we need to know where he is so we can run away, right?
Well, my thought was he's probably already after us. And if we take the fight to him first, at least we don't get caught off guard.
You're just on a roll with good ideas. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, don't get too ahead of yourself. I think that it would behoove us to contact the Jedi Temple.
No.
I figured you were gonna say that.
Halem slumps down a little bit in the chair that he's sitting in and looks harder into the hollow pad that he took from the huts.
It seems like he dislikes the Jedi more than you, Jenna. That's very surprising.
Well, I don't care if anybody likes me. I'm just here to get the bag.
As much as you all may not like the Jedi, they are probably going to have the best lead as far as how we can find this Dark Jedi whose name and identity we don't even know.
How do we know that you don't know this guy? You're a Jedi, right?
I've never seen him before. At least, to be honest, I didn't get close enough to get a look at him, so I don't even know if I've seen him before. Maybe I have.
Okay, so this might be a strange question, and I don't know if anybody else can answer this, but like, you know how sometimes when there's a person and they're using the force and you can taste it?
Did you say tasted?
I
He
have a
said
feeling that
taste
you
it.
have a very different and unique connection to the Force than the rest of us.
Oh. Well, so like, when I was in the laboratory, there was somebody that had the purple finger lightning instead of the yellow finger lightning, and whenever they would use that, then it tasted kind of like metal. And it was the same sort of taste like when we were in the car and we were running away from the people that were trying to explode us, and she made it look like the bridge was collapsing, even though it was our phone, and that tasted kind of like metal. And so then this person, that was after the suitcase that was full of the angry plant monster, when they were trying to kill you guys, for whatever reason that you had done that, it tasted like metal again. But like when like a Jedi uses their powers and they're like, we don't need to see your identification, and then the person is like, I don't need to see your identification, then it tastes different. It tastes sort of like nutritional mush. Side note: has anybody been in the kitchen yet?
No.
That was a very interesting way to explain the light side and the dark side of the Force.
Where is the kitchen?
Down the hall to your left.
I love what I just did to seek out.
My point is that they might be able to give us some useful information. We don't have to work directly with them or answer to them or anything, but I at least need to reach out to them. They don't even have to know that y'all are here.
When does ever reaching out to the Jedi not involve them wanting to take control of a situation.
Well, considering the fact that I've been sent out to the Outer Rim on a way-seeking journey because they didn't feel like dealing with me, I don't think they're going to look too much into it.
Then why do you think they would know what's going on out here in the first place?
There's probably something in the archives about whoever this guy is.
Ah, yes, the famed Jedi archives.
If it doesn't appear in their records, then it doesn't exist, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
Anybody got a better plan if nobody wants to reach out to the Jedi?
I can start clicking around on the Hut network since we're in the Hut ship. It'll have access.
Oh, I'm sure that the Hutts will be more than willing to help us, seeing as we just blew up half of their planet.
They don't have to know they're helping us.
That's exactly what I was
Well, I'm just using Space Google. Like, it's not that big a deal. I don't have to, like, actually ask anybody anything. I'm just gonna, sort of, like, do research and, like, read things and stuff.
What is a Google?
It's like a parsec. It's a really big number. Or a really small number, depending on context.
Xena, any Night Sister magic that can help us out here?
Unless you need some dead people, I got nothing.
That conversation for later.
Somewhere there's a very long notebook of all of the things that Hylam has earmarked as a conversation for later.
Earlier today, I got all the way up to 8 with Hylam. It was really impressive.
By the time this conversation is over, I feel like it'll be 9.
I'll tell you what. I'll extend an olive branch. Y'all do whatever you want to do with the Hut network. See what information you can find there. If it turns up fruitless, then we will reach out to the Jedi. Is that fair?
I swear to God, if he shows up, I will beat you within an inch of your life.
Who is
Can we do that after we defeat him?
Wait a minute. Who is he?
He was talking about the bad Jedi, right?
Hylam
Which
leaves
kind of
to
Jedi
go
is
off
the
to
bad
his
Jedi?
room.
The Dark Jedi.
Yeah. Well, but Hylam doesn't like any Jedi. Hylam seems to think that all the Jedi are bad.
Alright, well, y'all do your thing. I will make myself scarce.
Well, Hylam has muttered and retreated to his room in privacy, and the Dirty Jedi, now the Clean Jedi, is doing the most un-Jedi-like thing ever, and
Minding his business.
Just space Google.
So it would probably be a research check to try and see if you can find out stuff.
Oh boy, I'm untrained in that. That's fantastic. This is gonna be great.
Just don't blow anything up.
Not until you say it. I have learned that lesson. I think. Finally. Pretty sure.
That was a 3, so I gained nothing.
yeah, you got nothing.
Alright, so what I got so far is that Dark Jedi often interfere with profitable plans and are more murderous than the average non-hot person.
Can I push Gleebek away and say, let me do this?
Yes.
What am I rolling here?
It would be research, which would be under your skills. You might not be trained in it.
Okay.
I thought Xena was trained in it.
Can Xena do this?
Oh,
Maybe I turn to Xena. I don't know how to do this.
Because I remember part of her
JK.
backstory was that she was like an explorer, adventurer kind of person.
Is it funnier if Jana tries and then Xena pushes her?
Yeah.
Or Jana pushes Gleebek aside and then gives the badge over to
That's
Xena.
true.
Also funny.
I mean, you're a Hut. That's how you do research. Make somebody else do it.
So Jana pushes Gleebek out of the way and pushes Xena in front of the console.
Perfect.
okay. 6.
All right. What kind of information are you looking for? Just generally, like, what's your approach?
I feel like it'd be smart to maybe look for like some sort of news articles involving dark side happenings in the Outer Rim.
Dark side happening in and of itself doesn't give you a lot because that's more Jedi speak than anything. But
Yeah.
see a report from Narshada that does indicate there was a hostile incident that was believed to involve several Jedi, as there were individuals with lightsabers seen captured on camera. Not a lot of good footage. In fact, you can tell that's you in that picture that they have. You don't think anybody else would be able to really figure it out. There is a secondary report that is local to what this ship would have access to, being part of the more official network, being part of one of the totally legitimate business front and totally not just crime families that you stole this from. There is a little bit more information that you might be able to get a hold of. It just would require maybe some light hacking.
Who has that skill?
I'm trained.
It'd be electronics, yeah.
I'm gonna be looking at the screen, and I still have the first article of all of us pulled up, and I'm gonna be like, "Is that really what the back of my hair looks like?"
All right, so I'm gonna take the blue wire and the red wire. We're gonna touch them together, and this is gonna be totally fine.
Are you
It was
hacking
not
by
fine.
hot wiring a spaceship?
I mean, I rolled a 2 and a 1, so I don't know what we can say Gleebek's approach would be at that point.
Yeah, that seems. Yeah.
Why are there all these extra keys on the keyboard? That seems silly.
You
tried to rewire the HoloNet. What?
You get a very angry warning flashing in Huttese, assuming you can read Huttese, and if not, I guess John will have to read over your shoulder for you. But yeah, if you fail again, it will lock you out.
I'm gonna spend a Benny.
See, I wasn't first this time.
You were waiting just to make a point, weren't you?
Possibly.
All right, I got this, guys. Don't worry. I am completely competent. Oh, haha! 5. I learned things about stuff.
You are able to access the data that's more security report oriented. And with one raise, I will let you ask a question, and I will be honest about said question as it pertains to that incident involving the Dark Jedi.
So we'll put our heads together outside of character.
Yeah.
My question would be, I think, for the Dark Jedi, if they are headed to Nalhutta because they were on our tail, or
So, like, last known location?
Yeah, I would say maybe last known location, because if I was the GM and I was asked where
are they going?
Yeah, I would say towards you, and just keep it as vague as possible. Because I am answering your question.
Malicious compliance. Yeah.
Yes.
I understand. I hear you.
Have you ever found a ring of 3 wishes? That is the GM gets 3 chances to screw you over.
It's kind of a monkey's paw.
I love when players get wishes.
Gleebek would absolutely be the best character to give wishes to as well. Also,
That'd be awful. For
The
everything.
best and most dangerous.
no, it'll be fantastic because we'll get a whole bunch of crap that we don't need, but Gleebek will be so happy.
We'll all have unlimited bedrooms with windows.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's always gonna have their own bed. That's a bed for themselves that they don't have to share. That isn't the floor, and a blanket that's not just old clothes. That's more
Gleebek.
kind of like Grandpa.
Last known location, please.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Shortly after the explosion at the starport, in which a ship that was later reported stolen, which seems to be really not important to anybody that a ship was stolen, other than the person filing the report. But another craft was seen taking off in pursuit of it shortly after, which its transponder was ID'd as the Legacy Ruin, identified as a Corellian frigate that it's more of a military craft than a freighter.
Not the Legacy Run, correct?
No, not the Legacy
Okay.
Run, the Legacy Ruin.
Gotcha.
All right, so the bad Jedi, which I'm pretty sure is the one that Hylam doesn't want to move. He's on a ship called the Legacy Ruin, and he was chasing after us before we broke the ship and landed on Nalhutta and started a very large fight and possibly a revolution and killed all those people. Oh, also the large explosion.
So, he's most likely after us.
No way. You're a genius.
Should we go back to Nalhada and like check on things there, or should we go really fast in a different direction? I bet with a little bit of work, I could make this ship go really fast. The engines are super big.
Is Halem in earshot?
Halem is sulking / meditating in his room. He is meditating on the brief connection that he had with the Dark Jedi when they had their mind link, and he's trying to use the Force to figure out something that way.
All right. You know what? Let's just make a Force check. Give me a roll for that.
All right.
Nothing bad could possibly come of this.
Oh, I know. 8.
You always get those high rolls when it really makes a difference.
I got that Lando luck.
Yeah. You are attempting to retrace that connection. You know that from your brief connection with them, there was something tumultuous about them. But you know that space in the Force that they should be, that you can attempt to reach out to as you expand your consciousness. You can feel them in the direction of where you were coming from. They are definitely in pursuit of you. When you first make that connection with their mind, though, they don't seem to notice. It is like being in a furnace. Somehow you found the shady spot in an oven. Everything around you is just boiling rage, but you have this one little cool spot. And it's like you can hear whispers or murmurs, something at the edge of this consciousness that you are currently attached to. With that raise, I will give you the choice of whether you want to disengage, since you know at the very least they are in the direction of Nalhada, probably following on your trail, or you could not so safely disengage and try to do whatever it is you do in your people's minds.
Decisions. My question would be, since I'm using empathy, and I'm pretty sure that's still just a Force one as well, if I'm approaching something dangerous, do I get my danger sense bonus?
You literally just walked into dangerous. You gave up that bonus when you made the choice to just walk into it.
Oh, I tried. All right. So,
Worth a shot.
100% of the shots you don't take. Yeah.
so I'm going to explore a little bit more.
Okay. What do you want to find out?
Any gleaming into what his goal was with the drain gear, with some specificity besides, just unleashing it upon, the galaxy, like for who or on who and why.
I'll go with persuasion, yeah.
Okay.
That works well for this.
Let's give me another 8. Come on. 5.
All right. As you are trying to coax the feelings out of this, to get past the raw emotion around it, attempting to push it aside enough to glimpse something more concrete, you focus on a spot, a cold, hard point of logic, but it is buffered by the hottest burning point of rage in this entire place. Somehow a coal sitting on top of and defending a piece of pure ice. And as you try to manage it aside, to brush it aside, to see what's underneath, suddenly you are in the dark, fire around you. You can hear the screams of the dying, the injured, and you can hear the roars, the gnashing teeth, the blade of a lightsaber, multiple sabers actually swinging around as they are cutting down plant-like tendrils left and right. And you see one of them, one of the drain gear, claw open, descending upon you at the exact moment before it should be taking your life and adding you to its mass. There is a explosion and decompression, and then darkness. You can catch only a brief glimpse past that memory, that replaying scene that is a focus of anger, to see something cold and calculating, a plan, a briefcase, revenge. As you are instinctually disconnecting from that empathic link you've made, responding more animalistic than intentional, the whispers that were in that place aren't whispers. It's not a murmur. It's not a single voice. It's a drone, a crowd. Hundreds of little voices, all whispering at the edge, just barely held at bay by that anger in this place before you are snapped back to in your newly acquired room on your newly acquired spaceship. You can feel a searing pain in a wound that does not exist. It fades quickly, but for just a moment, there is the sensation like fire on the left side of your face.
Can I add one specific thing? Master.
All right.
And then I collapsed. Yay.
So, what have the rest of y'all been doing while Hylam has been?
I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Can we breathe, please?
Now I taste bananas and nickels.
Oh my god. Okay.
That was pretty intense.
My first instinct when I got the information from Gleebek was actually to go talk to Hylam and see what he wanted to do. And so I imagine I'd probably walk in as he's collapsing.
Or shortly after, seeing a collapsed, unconscious, I guess, Hylam.
So I kind of go over and I just like kind of shake him out of his stupor and just like, hey, you okay?
I'll leave this up to Hylam.
Try that again.
I shake him again. Wake up! I like slap him. Wake up!
He's going to burn them all.
Who?
Whoever he is, he's going to burn them all.
The Drengir?
The Jedi. He hates you all so much. I have never felt hate like that.
Why was he after the Drengir?
To unleash it on you.
How do you know this?
I felt his anger, his rage, and I used that to enter his mind.
Then we have to stop him. I know that you have your issues with the Jedi, but if this plan comes to fruition, I'm sure that we won't be the only people in his path. When someone is set on this level of hate and destruction, they don't stop once they've achieved their goal.
I've tried to stop such hate before. It only led to death of everyone. I don't think I can do that again. I'm not strong enough.
Maybe you're not strong enough alone. And maybe we, together, can do different this time. And maybe those mistakes and those failures made you better, stronger. Do you know why I'm not with the Order anymore?
You're dirty.
That's a fair assumption. The truth is that, as you might have noticed, I can't tap into the Force the same way that most Jedi can. A wound in the Force is what they call me. My presence interrupts other Force users' ability to tap into the Force. You noticed that when you tried to connect to my mind. And it got to a point where I couldn't learn how to control it or harness it. And instead of coming beside me to help me, I was told to go elsewhere and figure it out myself. And that's how I ended up where I was. I do still believe in my heart at its core that the Jedi are good and that what they are trying to do is good. But they're not perfect. None of us are. And for whatever it's worth, this time that we've all been together has helped me to calm that disturbance in my spirit and be able to control that better. So, maybe, while the Jedi didn't have this planned, the Force did. Maybe we were fated to meet.
You sound like him.
Who?
Help me up.
Alright. And he doesn't press the matter further and he helps him up.
Hey guys, I was just in the kitchen. Did you know that they have things other than nutrition or mush?
I don't even know what that is.
It's nutritional and it's mushy.
So
Do they
while
have fried chicken?
Hylam and Vesper were having their heart-to-heart, this is not a huge ship. Xena and Jana, were you just like, the door was open, you could hear everything.
Xena was just like
Oh,
Drax. Like Drax, just in the corner.
Just eating cereal and milk. Just crunching away. Oh, that was kind of a sweet moment.
Well, I mean, it goes for all of you, so it's okay that you heard it. I mean, you know, it was kind of a joint group thing. So I hope that all of you received that from me.
So what is Vesper trying to say? Is that he's a bad Jedi? Like, that's what I got from the conversation?
Maybe I am, but maybe that's okay. Maybe we're all bad at stuff.
I'm
But
not
maybe-
judging, but I'm just saying I heard what I heard. You
That's
sound like
fair.
a bad Jedi, bro.
I suppose you could come to that conclusion. My point was that together maybe we can be something better. All of us.
I like that plan. I haven't had friends before. This is really cool.
Just try not to break anything.
Or
don't know
that's
if
not
I
an
would use that
expectation I'm
word
going to
yet.
be able to meet. No, but so they have this thing. It's like a little package, and then you open it, and then you put water in it, and then it tastes like food.
Gleebek, did you find me the fried chicken that I told you to find me?
No, they didn't have any like animal protein. It's
You
all,
should have
like,
told me.
prepackaged
I've been
thing.
waiting this whole time.
Meanwhile, Jaya comes up with just chicken bones in her mouth.
Oh, that would explain that.
I feel like space chickens are gonna be like Jonna's gonna be with space chickens like Tallahassee from Zombieland with the Twinkies.
It's gonna be
Just
a
like,
thing.
That's gonna be the thing. Just chasing
This is
the
gonna
whole
be my
time.
own personal quest.
You can hear Jaya crunching on something as she heads out from the same direction Gleebek came from. As that definitely looks like it was animal protein that she was chewing on.
I'm pretty sure that was a space chicken that what Jaya has there. I did not see that in the store. It may have been someplace else. But it was not in the kitchen or the storeroom. It looks like it must be really tasty. She's like,
Bombastic side eye.
All right. Well, it seems like we've got a Dark Jedi to fight. Do we know how far away he is from us?
He was on his way to Nalhutta.
Oh, he's heading there. I don't really want to.
But we just left Nalhutta.
I don't really want to go back to Nalhutta. I'm gonna be quite honest. So maybe we leave a trail of breadcrumbs and we set up somewhere that we can be ready for him to bring the fight to us. If we have a head start, then maybe we can be ready for it when it comes.
Before we do that, you all need to know what's coming. So I don't know how I'm about to attempt this, but I can mind link with multiple people. And I want to show them, or at least convey to them the feeling of what I just saw.
Okay. I would say if they are willing, then that's not difficult. If you're all willing to let Hylam link his mind with yours to show you what he saw, then
So this is gonna be like a mind link party line? Like,
Yep.
I think so, yeah.
Wow, sick.
sure.
Alright.
Adam's my friend.
What could possibly go wrong?
A lot.
is this how we
Somebody-
accidentally do the everybody swaps bodies episode next?
Oh,
Somebody should say I've got a bad feeling about this. This is the perfect time.
I'll say it. I've got a bad feeling about this.
And you jinxed it. All right, so force roll, or do I need to?
No. I am going to, since you're trying to show everybody, I'm going to give everybody one question that I will answer to my degree of satisfaction. I will not lie, but if there's something, Halem was very overwhelmed by the memory, but you see this time linking with the others and actually the ability to dampen the force that is natural to Huts a little bit, sharing that with everybody and also just being prepared, you're able to kind of focus on things a little bit less like you're in the position and more like you're just watching the scene play out. I will allow everybody to ask one thing about that scene, what appears to be Jedi fighting Drangiers, fire, death, and finally the explosive decompression of something.
Do we know what planet it was on?
Common knowledge, unless you can convince me of something else to have an idea of, like, solar systems and stuff. Otherwise, I'll go with common knowledge.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be common knowledge for stuff.
All right.
D4, and that's going to be a 4.
Not on a planet, on a ship, but the ship was in space in the Irem system.
Sir, here's what I want to know. I want to know if anything about the people that I'm seeing in the vision, or the ship, or like the general feeling of the location around the Irem system. I want to know if any of that is familiar to the laboratory, or have it broken out of the laboratory, or if this person that's a not-Knights Jedi, or a different kind of not-Knights Jedi. I still don't have good words for that. Anyway, but if that feels like something that I know.
It does not, actually.
Okay, so
It's
nose across the
very-
board is also an answer. Okay.
None of the taste of metal with any of the Jedis that are using powers, but the taste of metal coming from those Drangier in it, which you know from your one little run-in, they are connected to that. And the people just they look like, well, actually I don't even know if Gleebek knows who the Republic is. No. Yeah, they look like uniformed soldiers, but they definitely don't look like evil bad guy, evil soldiers. You think they might at least be like neutral soldiers or something.
Good news, everybody. So the people that were in the laboratory with me, that might be alive or might be dead, but I don't know, that could also use the, what is it you keep calling it, Jedi? The Force, right? Sometimes it tastes like food and sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, but so none of them were there. So that's good. So they might still be alive or dead, but they weren't there. And it's not the place where the laboratory was. So this is all kinds of good things.
I'm going to reserve my question because I answered part of it during my gasp out of the vision.
Is there anything on the ship that they're on that like indicates where they're going? Like, can you see any part of like the navigation in this vision, or is it all like just battle stuff?
It's pretty much all battle stuff. What little you could see from the system was already gleaned with the system name.
Okay.
But you're a traveler, you're relatively informed on events, yes? You've kind of been a professional
Sure.
wanderer for a while?
Yeah.
Okay. One thing that catches your eye is that one of the soldiers fighting is not wearing the same uniform. Most of them are just wearing their Republic uniforms, or they've got their Jedi stuff. One of them has a uniform that has a different cut and different name on it. It says Starlight Beacon.
Halem's gonna pass out. Somebody catch me.
Gleebek's going to use the force to hold him up. Got a 4.
Oh my
managed
god.
to knock
You really
perfect.
rolled for that? That's amazing.
I got him!
Well, it was going to be funny either way, because if he failed, then Gleebek gets kabunk, right? Or if our DM is mean, like I throw him into the wall.
Yeah, like you roll too many raises and just launch him across. Yeah.
Got him! That's okay. Pretty sure he's not gonna get a concussion. This is fine.
And then Jana pushes Gleebek out of the way and
Ah!
takes over.
with like one hand.
Yeah.
Jonna, this is what I'm going to do with your unused question, actually.
Okay.
Somebody might think this is unfair. I don't care. That's a lie. I care, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I'm the GM. I decide.
Basically, yeah. I'm going to
agree to
say
your
that
terms.
you basically have a freebie. In Monster of the Week, this would be called Hold One. But going forward, if something comes up that you think might be relevant, that memory could have had or that vision could have had a little piece to it, I will give you a bonus on the roll based on what you had seen at the time.
Okay.
If that made sense, I hope that came out as understandable English language.
I think so.
Okay, and that's not just this session. That's like until you use it. Like could be your next character in a D&D game. I don't know.
Okay.
You tell that DM that I said you get that bonus. Well, other than the fact that Hylam is evidently a fainting goat, you have a slight understanding of who's following you, what they're trying to do, and where they're coming from. So you still need to make a decision on what you want to do or where you want to do it.
Does anybody have friends out here on the rim?
Oh, do you guys?
Anywhere that we could park this ship that wouldn't be immediately hostile to us, or anywhere that we might be able to set up for a fight?
Okay, so I don't mean this personally, but we just stole a hut ship, so anywhere we go, it is going to be recognized as a hut ship. And so that place is either going to be not cool with huts, and then we have a problem, or that place is going to be cool with huts, and we stole it. And so, yeah.
Check for trackers.
Shouldn't we have done that before we took off?
Probably, but no one did it.
You told me that I needed to get us in, and that it needed to be able to fly, and then I took off, and we flew it, and it was fine. You didn't say anything about making it so that this ship could not be identified, or, anything. Or
Gleebek,
like,
could you
check.
go ahead and check for that, please, real quick?
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, even without a tracker, you're easy to track. I mean, this ship has a transponder giving its actual identity as a Hut space yacht that you stole. That's registered, presumably, to a Hut crime lord. So, unless you fake the ID of the ship, get that changed, and stop broadcasting its actual identity, yeah, that could be tracked passively, at least. Somebody noting where you're coming and going. As well, you're on specifically both the HoloNet and their internal little pocket of the HoloNet. That's probably trackable. However, for actual tracking devices, electronics.
I do have electronics, actually, so I could probably do that. That's a 10.
Oh.
How can help? Just tell us where to go.
Not only do you find the tracking device, this one actually has one built in. It's more of a security measure than in case my thing gets jacked. But it is currently broadcasting, for what that's worth, as you are, I believe, currently in hyperspace. Though somebody would have been able to get your last known heading, but not much else after that. But with that roll, you can not just disable it if you want.
I was going to say, with a raise, could I plot a course for somewhere we're not going that whoever has the signal thinks we're going to next?
Absolutely. With that, you could basically plot a course, so you would be giving them information, feeding them in that direction, and then they would no longer have the tracker available at that point, but you could definitely point them in a different direction. Where you want to send them, you can get that to me later if you want.
No, I think I already have an idea. I'm going to send them to Kessel, which is right around the corner.
Yeah, okay, they're going to the spice mines, evidently. Meanwhile, if you want to move around without being traced, you're probably going to either need to swap ships or find somebody that can hack this one and make it into something else. Shane, your ship needs a fake ID.
I feel like Gleebek and Jonna would know a shady character that could do that.
I feel like absolutely they would.
This gives me an idea. Donna, you remember that one time when we had the ship that we weren't supposed to have, but you wanted to keep it, except you had to sell it because there was the other thing where you made the wager and lost a lot of money?
You gotta be more specific because we've had a lot of ships that we shouldn't have had. So, which one is it?
Well, but
that-
this was the one that you didn't want to sell that we had to sell because you had to pay what's his name back because he was super mad at you because you owed him a lot of money. Because there was that
Oh.
wager that I was like, no, we shouldn't do that, and you were like, Gleebek, I'm in charge, and I was like, okay, and then it didn't go so good, and then you got really mad at me for not telling you that we shouldn't do it, and I agreed that I should have told you not to do it, even though I had, and then we had to change the thing on the ship, and then yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember that. I don't. What was their name?
Wait, don't end the session yet because I'm gonna spend a Benny.